So I missed out on junior leader conference. That was something that was involved with people that were just junior leaders. Um, and I think it was held down at Indiana University, or not Indiana University, sorry, the University of Indianapolis. The only year I signed up for it, I got sick the week of and could not make it. Sadly, I was very sad about that. But anyways, that one I've always heard was really fun. And then another one I did for a few years, not a whole lot, just because it lined up with 4-H Academy, which I preferred, was I was a 4-H camp counselor. So we'd go to Camp Shack Mac, and I was a counselor there for did I do 2 years? I think. Um, so it was interesting, I guess, to say the least. Dealing with a cabin full of kids, probably 15 kids or more with 3 counselors, all in high school, dealing with kids between ages, I'd say 8 and 12, probably. So it was a lot of fun. Got to do different activities. There's pool, swimming, all sorts of recreation. There was a bunch of stuff. I gotta admit, that is one thing I kind of wish I did as a kid. I never actually went as a camper because I was the shy, nervous kid that didn't want to do anything like that and was scared of meeting people. I definitely grew out of that more as I got older, but I did not do it when I was eligible to go. Because I was just, I don't know, I was nervous from being away from home for 4 days or 3 days or whatever, with people I didn't necessarily know. So I never signed up for it. I was a shy kid that didn't get out of my shell until later in life. But so that is another group, or yeah, group event basically. But I have to say, one of my favorites that I got to experience my last year of 4-H, and was the last year they had it available for 4-H in Indiana, was Indiana State. Indiana State Conference, or what was it? Indiana State Fair Youth Conference. Yes, that's what it was. So it was kind of like junior leader conference. It turned out that a lot of the kids that were there for a junior leader conference that year also went to youth leadership conference. That was my first time going, and I had a great time. It was all people in high school, maybe even their last couple years. It was really cool. So basically, we lived at the state fair for 3 or 4 days. So we were down there for 3 or 4 days, staying on the fairgrounds, helping out, setting up stuff for the state fair, and doing a bunch of other stuff. At one point, we helped with a food pantry down in Indy. I can't remember the name, but one of the larger ones in the state. And we helped work for that, so that was awesome. Um, we went to the Indiana State Building and did stuff there, which was really cool. I got to meet a Indiana senator. At one point, we saw the governor speak at the opening fair speech, I guess. So I was standing there. I might have been on the news. I don't know. I do have a state with the governor of Indiana at that point, but it is on someone else's phone. But I did meet him and talk to him in person. And we did a bunch of other activities. I think I had to, at one point that year, dress up in a mascot costume to take pictures and entertain children. So I wasn't the original one in the costume. There was another kid in it, but it was a warm day, and in that costume it was probably over 100 degrees, and he was dying and soaked in sweat. And so I offered to cover for him because he had been in it for like a half hour. And I was like, hey, dude, like, obviously we need to keep this rolling. Like, this is our volunteering station. I was like, hey, you go change. I'll take over for you. Like, you've been in there long enough. Like, you're dying. And he was drenched. And I found out later that I was going to be. So I'm running around in I called it the Mr. Bean costume. It is not from the TV show Mr. Bean, but I was a soybean with a hat and big gloves like Mickey Mouse. And I was walking around trying to take pictures with kids and get kids involved in some of the activities that they have set up at the state fair. So my friends that were down there with me, Noah and Danny, were actually kind of walking around trying to get people's attention to come take pictures with me, and that I was just kind of the mascot that was there to take the pictures with. So it was a lot of fun, but by the time I was done, I was drenched in sweat and super dehydrated and dying on the inside. But it was a great time. And then I'm trying to think. One other activity we did do while we were down there that I can remember is we got split up into groups, and then each group had to make a dinner, or yeah, we had to make a meal for the Indiana 4-H State Board, or the state fair board. So we had to make different meals, and then we had to choose a theme and decorations and food, and then we had to prepare it, set everything up ourselves, and then they came through for dinner, and then chose who was the best, and whatever else, presentation wise, food, everything. So at one point, me and someone else got sent to Meyer, and we had to go grocery shopping for our team and get everything we needed. I can't even remember our theme at the time, but we only had so much money to spend, so it was it was an interesting time, but it was so much fun, and I was happy to be involved in it. And sadly, it was the last year they were doing it. I definitely wish that they had that still available for kids, because that was one that was a lot of fun, and really enjoyed. But no, 4-H is an amazing program. I think more kids should be in it.